Hello and welcome to my Life and Wellness Coaching series. This series gives you effective ways to help you achieve your goals, improve your overall well-being, and create positive changes throughout your life. This first blog post from my website on the Lighthouse Life and Wellness Coaching site was sort of a kickoff as an explanation of why I focus in the LGBTQIA community for life and wellness coaching. There's so many specific reasons to focus on specifically gay men in my practice. First of all, I'm gay. I am a 3-year-old man who has had multiple careers over the past few decades. There are many different facets to who I am, and as I age, I find those different facets age with me. Some have aged easily, and some are not so easily, and others are satisfyingly continuing to improve. There have been real challenges along the way, and I actively choose not to give in and instead actively choose to continue moving forward, however that may look. So each of our paths is unique. Yours is always going to be different from mine. Yours is different from anyone else's. So I've sat down many times and challenged myself to write down 5 things that have significantly formed me and my generation. I came up with so many more than 5, almost instantly. So being a gay young man in the 80s and 90s, in so many ways was extremely difficult and different from experiences young men have had for the past 20 plus years. And yet, in many ways, the same personal, professional, and societal challenges continue and persevere, not only for the LGBTQI community, but also generally for people. The fundamental needs to be accepted by family, friends, and society for who we actually are, truly are, for who we love, and for who we strive to be, haven't changed over the years. The following is a portion of my list that I came up with for my experience, or from my experience as a gay man in the 80s and 90s. They've been significant influences on how I experience relationships and how I view and have developed my professional lives, how I struggle daily to feel like I'm making a difference in people's lives, which is a main goal of mine. You may relate to all or none of these thoughts and views. Here's my list. I'll read it off for you. Gay men were expected to take on the normal wife and husband roles when in a gay relationship, and were asked, this was often blatantly, who was playing which role? Yeah, you can imagine. Choosing to live a gay lifestyle was considered somehow threatening and offensive personally to others and to the world in general. Being gay was seen as a deviant choice. There was no concept that being gay is genetic and that's just how we're born. This idea wasn't even in existence at the time. It was often espoused that choosing to live a gay lifestyle, yes, choosing to live a gay lifestyle upsets the natural godly ways of relationships and procreation. That was a difficult one to deal with, especially living in the Midwest. And that choosing to be gay was an unnatural choice. Another one is being gay was to be hidden, and living as an out gay man was to live an alternative lifestyle, which I think to this point, it's still gay lifestyle, living actually fully openly gay as who you are, is still considered somehow an alternative lifestyle. As gay men, we were unable to establish and maintain stable monogamous relationships. That's what we were told over and over and over again by psychologists, psychiatrists, by doctors everywhere, by healthcare, and by other people all the time. And we were also told that we were promiscuous. So that was the expectation. If you're gay, you're promiscuous. Oh, and you're effeminate. You are non-masculine. And so that's your only option. So if you're gay, you instantly have to be somebody other than yourself. Or if you do fully embrace that and move into your feminine side, then you're gay. Oh, and that we all partied and did a lot of drugs. That was the assumption. That's what we were told, that if you're gay, that this is what you do. This is, from anybody, they'll tell you, oh yeah, gay people do this. So during this period, huge population was dying of AIDS. And unfortunately, there was also a big population in the world, and there still is, that said, believed, forced on others, and really were so loud out there. And it's coming back again, unfortunately, that AIDS was God's way of getting rid of the gays. It was very difficult to live with that. Still is very difficult, because there are people who, for whatever their own reasons, they still are loud about this, and they have this concept that somehow we're, like the LGBTQIA people, we are entirely different types of people, almost like, I don't know, a race of our own. So that led to that it was okay to beat up gay men and prosecute us because we were not normal. It was abnormal to be who we are. Because, as you know, it was a choice, so it was an abnormal choice. And gay men were held out as other, that we were choosing to be victims of violence, that we were choosing to be marginalized, and we were choosing discrimination, because that's what we would do somehow. Therefore, we didn't have people to look up to, and we were not to be looked up to, but instead we were to be looked down upon, pitied, and shamed. So I know that's hard. It may bring up a lot of bad memories. It may bring up a lot of difficult situations in your experiences. But my list goes on and on and on and on. I'm not going to go further into it. If you're triggered by any of these, I'm right there with you. I am too. It makes me kind of tingly at times. It makes me very heated. It makes me aggravated. Makes me mad. However, there's Willie. However, it's all in the past, and it is something to remember and to keep in mind. And it's also something that connects me with the LGBTQIA community very, very deeply. So while writing that list, it continues on for a couple pages in my notes, I found that I continue to carry a lot of very personal pain, a lot of sorrow, frustration, and, as I said, a lot of anger about how it was and what I had to go through. I also have those same feelings when I see that many of these views still exist and are continually perpetuated. It's just astounding to me. However, I choose to see the progress that has been painstakingly been made to strip many of these assumptions, incongruities, and just plain crap away as the decades have gone and progressed. All of this, so much more, has impacted me and impacted who I have been and who I currently am and who I will be. It's also influenced how I look at life, how I look at society, and how I look at relationships. About a decade ago, I consciously decided, probably more than a decade, to take the words choice and choose away from the negative side of who I am, of how I live and how I love. I decided to instead use those words, choice and choose, as personal power words that empower me throughout my life. I choose not to let my past and the incredibly long list overwhelm, dishearten, and control me, but instead, I choose to see those things as motivation to clarify and focus me in my ongoing, continuous efforts to help people discover, reinforce, and gird their own empowered, unique, beautiful selves. So I encourage you to look at your past. It can be painful at times, but it's what made you who you are, and it'll continue to mold you with who you can be. It depends on how you look at it and what choices you make for words that define you and how you look at it. I choose to look at them as learning experiences. My past helped create who I am now. My past helped create who I will be. My past also helps me understand a couple generations of the LGBTQIA community in a different way, in a deep way, and fundamentally helps me relate to you. So, as your life and wellness coach, let's work together to explore and discover different ways, challenges, and experience that have formed you. And let's work to continue to help you grow throughout all aspects of your life that uniquely work best for you. Each one of us is different. That's a beautiful thing. So, keep an eye out for future videos for many life and wellness coaching insights, ideas, suggestions, and guidance. Follow, like, subscribe, share. I'd love to hear from you. So send me a message or leave me a comment where available. Have a great day.